We had some very clear-cut plans for the film, not least of all having a good script, but it meant that we were, there was some, Sam and all of us, but together there were things that we wanted to achieve. And I genuinely feel like we've sort of achieved them, and thankfully many, many more. You have to take the time and the effort to find the right people who are enthusiastic, who are not here just to sort of do a turn and leave. And we've just been blessed with every character, whether it's Rory or it's Ben or it's Ola, and I'm just, not forgetting Ray Fiennes and Javier Bardem, Judi Dench. I mean, and then the casting of the girls with Naomi and Berenice, finding two exceptionally beautiful girls who are very serious actresses and are, intelligent enough to know what's required of them in a movie and more, and they bring so much. And for me on the set, it's been a joy. There's a style, and there's a style we've been going, whether it's Gianni, the costume designer, or or the sets, Dennis's sets. There's definitely a kind of a color palette that Roger Deakins has been using. It's a richness that is there that I think it probably reminds us a little more of the 60s. It certainly reminds me much more of sort of Goldfinger. I think is a good touching point. If you look at Goldfinger and the sort of the style of that and the locations for that, I think that it does feed into that. Gary Powell's come back in, we've got Alexander Witt on second unit, and that sort of combination means that we're going to sort of do something special, and all of us, and Gary especially, has sort of had, has felt the need that we need to push this movie as far as we could, and we've always relied on the fact that we do things for real in Bond movies, and that's just the way it is, and if there's CGI, it's just to help out as opposed to sort of creating the scene, and I think standing on top of a train, traveling at 50 kilometers an hour, fighting with Oliver Pace going over a 300-foot drop was probably a standout moment. We talked about Live and Let Die being our first Bond movie we saw in the cinema. We talked about the early movies. We talked about Goldfinger. We talked about the mistakes. We talked about the great things. We talked all of these things. And I felt an immediate connection to somebody who had exactly the same enthusiasm and respect for it that I did. And I thought, well, look, this is, and I deeply respect Sam as a director. And I also knew that it would be, and I said to him, this is going to be a new experience. And I say that only because I've made two of them, and it was a very new experience for me, and I wasn't prepared. Nothing can quite prepare you. But I knew that he would put everything behind it. He would put all of his knowledge of movie making behind it, but also all of his knowledge and love of Fleming and Bond.